Hunting Matthew Nichols is a movie that proves even with the same recipe, you can't recreate the magic of the Blair Witch Project. I was there when it came out, and I can tell you the difference. The original Blair Witch worked because of the prevalence of the internet at the time. And you know why any remake or copy is going to fail? Because of the prevalence of the internet at the time. Blair Witch came out in 1999, and even the most plugged-in movie nerd was working with less resources when it came to vetting the events of a documentary. But the actors are using their real names. Couldn't you just look them up? Well, not really. There's no social media, and they hadn't been in any other movies. All we had to go off of was the movie and the film's IMDb page, which listed the actors as missing, presumed dead. So a sizable number of viewers left the theater thinking they saw something real, and they told their friends. And by the time the truth came out, it had made its mark. We already had the experience, and like pro wrestling, finding out it's staged doesn't take away the feelings you felt before you knew it was.
It's still real to me, damn it!
Blair Witch left a big mark, and in the years since, we've seen a ton of found footage horror. Some amazing.
I'm assuming you're Aaron.
Yeah, Aaron. Nice to meet you.
Joseph. Oh my God.
Most meh.
What the hell?
He's so creepy.
What is he doing?
Freaky, right?
But none of them have fooled us the same way Blair Witch did. But that didn't stop director Markian Tarasiuk from trying with his debut feature, Hunting Matthew Nichols. A movie so focused on recreating the Blair Witch Project that I'm trademarking a new word. Nostalgerism. Definition: you take a classic movie and just mad-lib the title, characters, and locations until it's kind of something new altogether, but not really. Let's play a game. I'm gonna give you a high-level overview of the plot and production of Hunting Matthew Nichols. Let's count how much was pulled from Blair Witch. On Halloween night 2001, two friends, Matthew Nichols and Jordan Reamer, disappear. The police search the woods nearby and find an abandoned cabin containing Matthew's camcorder. We learn that Matthew and Jordan were aspiring filmmakers obsessed with recreating, you guessed it, the Blair Witch Project. So, with no other leads or evidence, their footage is chalked up to being an attempt at a Blair Witch remake, and the case goes cold. Flash forward 2 decades and we're introduced to Matthew's now adult sister, Tara Nichols. She has commissioned a documentary film crew consisting of Markian Tarasiuk and Ryan McDonald, and the three set out to solve Matthew's disappearance. So again, that's 2 guys, 1 girl, in the woods, looking for spooky stuff with cameras. In Blair Witch, we explore the Black Hills Forest. In Matthew Nichols, we explore the Black Bear Woods. Blair Witch recounts the tale of murderous hermit Rustin Parr. Matthew Nichols recounts the tale of cannibal hermit Roy McKenzie. Blair Witch features a mysterious cabin that appears and disappears. Matthew Nichols features the same thing. Okay, you get the point. Hunting Matthew Nichols is a movie aware of the movie Blair Witch, purporting an actual Blair Witch scenario happened 2 decades ago, leading to a second real Blair Witch scenario in the present day. It's Anaconda 2025 levels of Inception. That's nostalgerism. And it doesn't stop with what you see on the screen. Let's talk about the marketing. Just like Blair Witch, Hunting Matthew Nichols has a website with an ARG called The Hunt for fans interested in exploring the lore. It's even got a type of card system that's all the rage these days, which I guess is a plus for the people that are into that sort of thing. Look, you've probably picked up at this point that I didn't like the movie, which is true. But even though I didn't like it, I'm still glad they made it, and here's why. I think you have to make things in order to get better at making things. And the amount of ambition and risk on display here is commendable. Now, there's a glaring issue here that I'll get to in a minute that really makes me question the filmmaker's ability to take notes and grow, but let's lead with what they did right. Director/co-lead Markian Tarasiuk is a DIY guy. He shot this in an area he grew up around, using local actors and crew, and using a hybrid of home video and fresh material. Matthew Nichols disappears in the woods on Vancouver Island for a reason. Markian grew up in Winnipeg, and his family took a trip to Vancouver Island when he was 7, the year that Blair Witch came out. His dad shot a lot of home video on that trip, and that footage wound up making it into this movie. So we're seeing authentic Vancouver Island footage circa 2000, and that is points for authenticity. Markian also got the cast to give him their home video footage from that era, further adding to the effect. When it came to splicing in new scenes from that era shot with actors, Markian used a handycam from the early 2000s. He didn't digitally downgrade new footage, and I'm sure that was a pain, but it's the right choice. The found footage is seamless. I respect that in a lot of ways he doesn't choose the easy thing. Speaking of, they made this completely independently, including the financing. If you look at the list of producers, you'll see a lot of names from the cast and crew. Now, according to the director, they're not allowed to say the budget publicly, but I am so curious. They shot this movie in 12 days. That is an extremely aggressive shooting schedule. And Markian sent out dailies to his producers and potential producers to get additional funding as the project went on. Pretty ambitious to start shooting a movie without the full budget secured, but that's brave and I respect it. The filmmakers had all the drive and commitment to make this movie, no doubt. That sounds like a producer's dream. So why didn't this movie get financed by a studio? Remember that glaring issue I took with the filmmakers earlier? Here it goes. When they pitched this movie, they did not have a script. They describe what they showcased as a scriptment. That's part script, mostly treatment, because according to them, they wanted to allow the actors to improvise much of the dialogue. These are first-time filmmakers, so executives responded, you need to write a full script. Now, they say this turned into a blessing because it forced them to think through the plot and close up some of the gaps in the actual disappearance of Matthew Nichols. Pretty concerning they didn't have that down before they pitched it. On their final pitch, Markian says the script was at 85% and they still couldn't get it made, so they went the DIY route. Now, I've never made a movie, but I don't think a full script is too much to ask in return for an investment. So that's my bother. I don't like impatient creators when it comes to long-form film. The good stuff is worth the wait. I'm investing over 90 minutes. That's a long time to ask in this world. If you're still learning and you don't have the full script for 90 minutes of entertainment, cool. Make 20 minutes of entertainment and put it out yourself on YouTube. If you go to the director's IMDb, you won't see any short films. Now to compare, go check out the IMDb for Curry Barker. He's got his studio debut coming out this year with Obsession, and look at all those shorts. He's even got an excellent direct-to-YouTube feature. That's how you do it. You make and improve and make. If you've got enough ingredients for a slice, don't commit to a whole pizza. Make an excellent slice that people will want more of. Is the clout of I had a movie playing in movie theaters valid if you bought its way in and the only person asking for it is you? To me, that's not the same. But all that said, Markian Tarasiuk made a movie and it played in theaters, and based on the interviews I've seen, I think he learned a lot. Now, will he check his ego, take what he learned, and keep making? Time will tell. But I hope he does, because he did something that Matthew Nichols couldn't. He survived making a movie. Did you see Hunting Matthew Nichols? Did you see completely unrelated, they're remaking the Blair Witch Project again? Let me know what you think in the comments. Do we really need to keep poking bears in the woods? Thanks for watching, and as always, I'd really appreciate a like and sub on this thing. I'm trying to get to 1,000 subs in 2026. I'm like a quarter of the way there, and I appreciate every last one of y'all. Until next time, be good.